What if the thing you're afraid to let go of is actually the thing holding you back? What if giving up something, alcohol, smoking, a toxic relationship, a job that no longer serves you, or even just a thought pattern, isn't about losing something, but finally becoming the person you're meant to be? For years, I told myself I'd stop drinking until one conversation changed everything. Today, I'm going to share what shifted for me and how curiosity helped me along the way. Welcome back to Dear Curious Soul, and that was the moment. I'm Deshankar, and today's episode is a little bit special. This is a crossover of both my podcasts because what I'm sharing with you today isn't just a reflection, it's a moment that shifted something deep within me. Today, I want to share my journey so far with becoming a non-drinker. Don't worry, I'm not here to preach or tell you what to do, but if you're listening to this, something has probably piqued your curiosity. As of this recording, I haven't had a drink for 12 weeks. Well, maybe you're thinking, why share this now? It's only been a few weeks. Well, I'm sharing for a couple of reasons. One is to keep me accountable, and two, because 12 weeks is a huge deal. I used to feel so daunted hearing about people talking about being sober for 10 years. And I just felt like that was so far away, so unachievable for me. I would think, what's the point of even trying? That was just one of the stories I used to tell myself to keep me drinking. But now I see it differently. If I can do 12 weeks without alcohol, I can do 12 years. Alcohol has been a huge part of my life, even before I was conceived. It had a starring role in all our daily lives, family gatherings, and special occasions. Whenever my sisters and I talked about plans for Christmas lunch, we'd literally start with, what are we going to drink? I can't tell you the confusion that was caused when we couldn't buy our favorite margarita mix last Christmas. For many years, I haven't liked the relationship I had with alcohol. I tried so many times to reduce or restrict my drinking, but it would only last a short while. There's a note in my diary from 2019 saying, I really need to stop drinking so much. And there was always a little voice urging me to stop, but I just drank more to shut it out and numb the feeling. Then last year, there were a couple of occasions where I was honestly appalled at my behavior while I was drunk. I decided to start counseling to help me. I dislike the word addiction, but that's what it was. To be addicted is to be physically and mentally dependent on a substance. And I was, for more years than I'd like to count. Before counseling, I tried hypnotherapy and read books on addiction, but after a week or two, I'd always find an excuse to drink again. I wanted to understand why I drank, and the counseling helped me to do that. I realized my love affair with red wine in particular began when I moved to London at the age of 24. Before that, I actually detested it after a night out, drinking too much and throwing my guts up. But in London, red wine became my best friend. It warmed me on the cold winter nights and comforted me when things were awful with my partner at the time. I was working in the investment management industry, which meant work hard and play even harder. I remember drinking a glass of wine for every pint my male colleagues drank, and then somehow getting myself home on the tube. And there was more than one occasion I had to get off early just to throw up. I'd feel terrible the next day, but that wouldn't stop me from drinking again that evening, whether that was with colleagues or alone at home. I decided that 2026 would be the year I finally stopped. I'll be honest, the thought of never drinking again scared me. I honestly didn't think I'd be able to function without it. Who would I even be without alcohol? I remember thinking that one evening, and then that small voice inside me asked, imagine what you could be doing if you weren't drinking. Who could you be without alcohol? I heard that voice loud and clear, even though it was really soft, but I quickly silenced it with another glass of wine. I was very good at doing that. Everything has a time. I was chatting with a wonderful, wise friend one day and sharing, again, my thoughts, my feelings, and my concerns about alcohol, as I had done with her for the past 4 years. I am rolling my eyes here. And then She said 7 words that changed everything. Maybe you need to break up with alcohol. It was so simple. Something clicked that day while we were looking at the beautiful views across Freshwater Headland. The very next day, I was with a client sitting on Collaroy beachfront. While she was happily reading her book, I pulled out my phone and started writing a Dear John letter to alcohol. And once I started, I could not stop. In that letter, I told alcohol why I loved it, why I hated it, and why I had to say goodbye. I poured my heart out. I said everything I needed to say, and I even shed a few quiet tears. While I won't share the full letter, here are some realizations that helped me let go. I realized I was using alcohol to numb myself. I was hiding behind it, using it as a scapegoat of sorts that I blamed for bad behavior, lack of action, and anything else I wanted an excuse for. I used alcohol to fill an emptiness that I felt inside instead of trying to understand it. And the biggest realization of all for me, I didn't like who I was when I was drinking. I wanted to be fully me, unapologetically. Alcohol had been a companion throughout the highs and lows of my life. But that relationship was no longer working for me. Just like with any toxic relationship, I knew it was time to let it go. And when I finished writing, I felt this wave of relief. There, I had finally been honest, and it felt so good. Seeing alcohol as an energy was transformative. I now use this technique for money, beliefs, and patterns too. And when I want to understand more about my relationship with something, I write it a letter. Try it for yourself sometime. If writing's not for you, you can speak to it out loud or record a voice note to express your feelings about it. I truly believe people come into your life when you need them the most. A simple conversation can change everything. That moment, sitting at Freshwater Headland with my beautiful friend, that was mine. So you might be wondering, how did one letter stop me drinking? Well, it didn't, not on its own anyway, but it helped me understand my relationship with alcohol. And from there, I used the words from that letter to create an EFT tapping script. And I started tapping the same day. My counselor had taken me through how to use EFT months before. At the time, I was still drinking daily, but I could feel the hold that alcohol had over me starting to loosen. I tapped every day, sometimes multiple times a day. I was changing my neural pathways one tap at a time. Another belief that I have is that when you truly decide something, the whole universe conspires to help you. Once I made the decision, things started aligning. Another friend recommended the book Quit Like a Woman by Holly Glenn Whitaker. I downloaded the audiobook and finished it within a few days. I resonated so deeply with her story, and I felt like she was putting words for things that I hadn't fully realized yet. I also noticed that she used very similar language to what I had written in my letter to alcohol, another clear sign that I was on the right path. She referenced the book Stop Drinking Now by Alan Carr, so that was next. And interestingly, I had already stopped drinking before I'd even finished listening to the book. But I want to be very clear. These books didn't physically stop me from pouring a glass of wine. They were tools. They helped me shift my thinking and understand my behavior. Some key shifts that I noticed: I never resonated with the word alcoholic or the stigma around it. The idea of counting days and resetting to zero if you had one drink felt like too much pressure. I realized alcohol is literally a poison, marketed as something essential. Instead, I chose a different mindset. I chose not to drink. As simple as that. I wasn't giving up. I was choosing. Every day when I wake up, I make that choice. In Reiki, we have the 5 precepts that begin with just for today. And that became my approach. Just for today, I choose not to drink. And I made a promise to myself. I don't intend to drink again, but if I ever did, I won't shame myself. It doesn't erase the progress I've made. I'll simply choose again. In upcoming episodes of Dear Curious Soul, I'm going to go deeper into how EFT and an understanding of neural pathways helped me on my journey with alcohol. So if you'd like to learn more, please be sure to subscribe and follow so you don't miss them. And finally, one of the biggest aids in my journey so far has been the support of my amazing partner. Having someone that I trust completely to share my fears, my thoughts, and my wins with has been everything. He has been my biggest cheerleader on this journey, and it helps that he's a very occasional drinker. Life now, well, actually stopping drinking wasn't as difficult as I expected. The inner work that I had been doing made a huge difference. What I did find challenging in the beginning was being with myself 100% of the time. That inner voice became so much clearer. And at first, that was really confronting. There were things I didn't want to hear. In the past, I would just drown that voice out with another glass of Shiraz. Now, I couldn't. I had to just listen. And that led to some difficult conversations and big changes, internally and externally. I started letting go of things that no longer served me, relationships, situations, and old thought patterns as well. And now, 12 weeks in, I feel like I am thriving. Physically, I've lost weight, bloating, and inflammation without even trying. My skin is clearer, my eyes are brighter, and waking up with a clear head feels incredible. Financially, I'm saving so much money. It's honestly shocking how much money I used to spend on alcohol. Socially, I'm still going out just as much as I did before and definitely having a lot of fun without the added anxiety of, oh my God, what did I do last night? My relationships have improved deeply. I've let go of some and others have blossomed. My relationship with my partner has improved tenfold. I no longer overreact, I respond, and I can see how proud he is of me. And my self love, well, it has skyrocketed. I feel lighter, not just physically, but emotionally. There's a spring in my step that hasn't been there for years. My mind is now a beautiful place to be instead of a war zone filled with shame, blame, and regret. I believe that everything has its time. And I believe that your mind, your body, and your soul know when it's the right time to let go of something. Whether that's a relationship, a job, or in my case, an unhealthy addiction, your body knows, your mind knows, and your soul knows. All you have to do is listen and take action. If there's something you want to let go of, maybe it's an addiction or a habit that's become one, whether that's alcohol, smoking, vaping, overthinking, or people pleasing, be curious about it. Find your own way to work through it. There's no one size fits all when it comes to healing or growth. Do it your way. And lastly, never underestimate the power of a conversation with a friend. If I hadn't spoken to my friend that day on Freshwater Headland, would I still be drinking now? If something in today's episode resonated with you, or if you thought of a friend while listening, please share this episode with them. You never know if it's exactly what they need to hear right now on their path. And until next time, be present in each moment because you never know when your moment will arrive or when you have the gift of being that moment for someone else. Thank you for listening with an open mind, a kind heart, and your dear curious soul. Until next time, stay curious.